Okay, today we are diving into something huge, a real revolution that's tearing down one of the biggest walls in innovation. We're talking about a massive power shift, taking it from just a handful of people and giving it to, well, millions. This is all about the democratization of software development.
All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those ideas? You know exactly the kind I'm talking about. The one that jolts you awake at 3 in the morning. An idea for an app or a new service, maybe a platform that you just know in your gut could change the game.
And then, bam, reality hits. You've got the vision, you've got the passion, you even know the market inside and out, but you run smack into a brick wall. A wall made of, you guessed it, complex programming languages. Look, if this sounds even remotely familiar, you are definitely not alone. For decades, this has been the story for so many brilliant innovators.
So before we can even talk about the solution, we've got to really get our heads around the problem. Let's call it the era of the code gatekeepers.
You see, for the longest time, there's been this huge chasm. Over on one side, you've got the visionaries, right? The founders, the people who see a problem and have a brilliant idea to fix it. And then on the other side, there's this almost impossible wall of traditional, super complex code. And trying to get from one side to the other, well, historically, that meant you needed a ton of money or some seriously specialized skills.
Basically, building software has always been seen as this specialized craft, almost like a secret society, like some kind of digital alchemy that was only open to people who spent years, and I mean years, mastering these cryptic languages. And what did that do? It created a massive, massive bottleneck for new ideas.
But what if we could just build a bridge right over that chasm? What if we could put the tools to build directly into everyone's hands? Well, guess what? That is exactly what's happening right now.
And that bridge, it's called low-code. And honestly, the concept behind it is just beautifully simple. It's a way of developing that lets you create really powerful applications with minimal, and I mean minimal hand coding. So instead of typing out line after line of complicated syntax, you're using visual models, drag and drop interfaces. It's a total paradigm shift. You're not really writing code anymore, you're designing the logic.
Yeah, the whole mission, the entire point of these low-code platforms is to dismantle the technical gatekeeping. It's all about tearing down that wall we were just talking about, throwing the gates wide open so that anyone with a great idea can actually start building it. So what does this mean for you, the visionary? It means there's finally a direct path from that idea in your head to a real working product, something people can actually get their hands on and use. That gap, it's finally being closed. Okay, I get it. This all sounds fantastic in theory, right? But how does it actually work? Well, it all comes down to building with something called visual logic. So take a look. On one side, you've got traditional code. Don't get me wrong, it's powerful stuff, but if you're not a coder, it might as well be ancient hieroglyphics. It's pretty unreadable. But then on the other side, you have visual logic. It's basically a flowchart. It's intuitive. You can literally see the flow of how your application works. You're just connecting these blocks of functionality together instead of trying to write abstract commands. The whole process just becomes so much more straightforward. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like building with digital Legos. You just choose the piece you need, say a user login form, or a chart to display data, or a payment button. You drag it onto your canvas, and then you just connect it to the other pieces to tell it what to do. It really is that simple. And the result of working this way? Speed. I mean, unbelievable speed. Because the whole thing is so visual and intuitive, you can whip up a prototype, test it out, get feedback, and make changes in just hours or days, not the weeks or months it used to take. You can just iterate and iterate and iterate your way to a fantastic product. So let's zoom out for a second. What happens when you put these kinds of incredibly powerful, incredibly fast tools into the hands of millions of people all over the world? You get a revolution, an innovation revolution to be exact. And the consequences here are just massive. All of a sudden, software stops being this specialized, walled-off craft, and it becomes a universal tool, something as common as a spreadsheet or a word processor. This is what empowers non-technical founders to build their own custom solutions. It's what accelerates the launch of new products and just pours gasoline on the fire of global innovation. I mean, just think about it. A doctor in a rural clinic building an app to track patient data, or a teacher creating a new tool to help their students learn. That's the kind of power we're talking about here. Really, what we're witnessing is the democratization of creation itself. It's a fundamental shift in who gets to build the future. We're distributing the power to create these complex, powerful systems to, well, to anyone who has a clear vision and a problem they're passionate about solving.
And that, of course, brings us right back to you. The gates, they've been torn down. The bridge, it's been built. And the tools are more accessible and more powerful than they have ever been in history. So really, there's only one question left to ask. What will you build?